Good evening and late night, amazing people. I was I was up all night last night working on some things. And one thing I told myself, let me tell y'all something. I was exhausted this morning. When I went live earlier with y'all today, I was still up from the night before. And I was exhausted, y'all. I was tired. But one thing I told myself that I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because you know what? This is what I prayed for. I might have a lot on my plate, but the goal is to eat, right? The goal is success. The goal is encouragement and empowerment and motivation. Like that's the goal. So when I found myself today saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired," and I'm like, "Nah, nope, nope. I'm not even doing that. I'm not doing that." you know I'm gonna be thankful, that I have something on my plate, you know but I was sitting here and I kind of after I went live, I finally went and laid down and got some rest. And now I was up, moving around a little bit, trying to get some things in order. So um it had dropped in my spirit that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And I've spoke about this before, but it definitely sat in my spirit, I think, a little lately because of the election coming up, right? And how a lot of people talk to me about, elections and this, that, and the third. I've worked on about three different campaigns, you know, and I think what people are looking for is perfect people to get into these political seats, right? Or they're looking for someone that knows every law, knows everything about the position. But do we know that when people get into these positions, right? There's no degree on being a governor, there's no degree on being a state representative, there's no degree on being senator, there's no degree on being the president of the United States. There's no degree, there's no type of training, and I really feel like, God is doing a new thing with a lot of people running for office. But let's think about it before people get the arguing. Let's think about the people that have degrees, right? Law degrees, education degrees, whatever degree they may have. They may have sat as a state representative. Now they want to be a mayor or want to be a governor, whatever the situation is, right? Now we have people that are already knowledgeable in politics. But the one thing that bothers me a little bit about that is that things are not changing. If if that makes sense, right? Um there's still racism. People are getting away with, killing black people, killing people, period. But racism is still alive. Look at all the people that are getting exposed saying racist things. And at the end of the day, these people would be able to keep their seat if we never heard it. The only reason they get fired is because we heard it. The world heard it. You know what I mean? But I'm sure these people have said racist things, behind the scenes, and everybody around has laughed about them. But what I'm getting to when I say God doesn't call the qualified, I feel like God is putting, certain people in these seats, and I'm talking about His people. I'm not talking about people that's knowledgeable, people that got a background in this and the third, because you could have a background in politics all day long. You could have been a mayor, you could have been a senator, you could have been whatever it was. You could have a law degree, you could have an education degree, but are you for the people? I think people lose focus of that when it comes to these elections, when it comes to, who you're going to vote for. My thing is, are these people for the people? And I feel like, a lot of people that God is trying to put in position, not just in, the political realm, just in position, period. He is qualifying them. And it's crazy because a lot of people are going to count these people out. They're going to attack these people. They're going to try to, drag these people's name through the dirt, but not even knowing that God called them for a time like this, because he gave them a vision for a time like this. God is giving people the vision to come in and change some things. Do you understand? Let me tell you something. We might not agree with everything that somebody says and somebody's going to do, but that doesn't mean that they're not following the vision that God has for them. I had to explain to somebody today, at the end of the day, we don't know, to be honest, right? When we come at people or come at what somebody did, or, give our opinion or whatever, we don't know what God told somebody to do. We don't know who God put in position to do something. That's just like back in the day. There was people put in position to help the slaves get free. You see what I'm saying? There was so many different things back in the day when they would come together and they would unify and boycott things. And the boycotts worked. You know why? Because it was unity. You know why? Because everybody was affected. Everybody was affected. And they understood back in the day there's power in numbers. And I think that sometimes we lose focus of things, like that. And my thing is, I see it very clearly. I see that God is trying to bring a lot of change, just to the world, period. And the very people that he's sending to bring change, to speak up, they're being attacked. If you notice or not, those people are being attacked. And 9 times out of 10, those type of people are the black sheep. They've been attacked they whole life because they blow the whistle. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, one thing I seen, this is, it really got to me. I seen President Biden speak about his son. His son is facing some charges, right? And I seen him speak about his son, saying, I know my son is a good son. He's grown. He wrote a book about this. He did this, he did that. And as he was sitting up there as a parent, speaking on the things about his son, highlighting the great things about his son, like, my son made a mistake, but he's good. I need people to know that. He wasn't saying that verbatim, but basically his words. But you know what I thought about? I thought about every mother and father that has a child that's incarcerated, and their child is good too. Their child made a mistake too. Their child sold some drugs. They sold some weed. They might have broke into a house, and they might have stole a car, and they might have did a number of things. You see what I'm saying? But I felt, I just thought about those type of parents. And if I could ask the president one thing, I would say to him first, like, I believe you when you say what you say about your son. But do you understand there are other parents out here that their children are locked up like slaves, living like slaves, being fed like slaves, being mistreated, all type of stuff. Do you care about those parents like you want America to care about your son? And that's just real. That's being real. His son broke the law. Whatever law he broke it. Just like everybody else. The law is the law. He broke it. But as a parent, you come into the forefront using your status and using your platform to talk about how your son is a good person. How about it's a lot of black men and that's locked up that are good people too? How about it's a lot of black men in incarcerated that turned their life around. Whole different person. got trades, got certificates. You see what I'm saying? Learned their lesson. Do they get another chance in society? And that's what I said. God doesn't call the qualified. He's not calling people that's already educated or have a background in politics. He's qualifying the people that he's calling to come up. He's qualifying these people that have a vision for the people, not money, not greed, not none of that. He's putting people in position that he told and showed the vision to, and they know exactly what to do, and they know exactly how to deliver. And I think we need to realize that before we sit up and we judge people, because we don't know who God sent. We don't know what God communicated with them. It wasn't a conference call. And I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about y'all on this live right now, that God has gave you a vision. He gave you a vision. He told you to do something. And let me tell you something, baby, people ain't gonna understand it. They ain't gonna understand it. They gonna bash it. They gonna try to come up against it. But I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody that knows God, anybody that knows God, baby, and has a real relationship with God and serve God for real, ain't gonna come up against you. You know why? Because they have been put in position to do something that didn't make sense to the world. Didn't make sense to man, but made all the sense to God. Sometimes it disappoints me seeing people that sit up and I serve God and I go to church every Sunday and this, that, and they're the main ones being judgmental though. The main ones being judgmental. The main ones trying to come up against the very thing that God is trying to do here in the physical realm. That surprises me. If you serve God and you've been on that type of assignment before, why would you bear somebody else that's on assignment? Especially when somebody's on assignment to tell the truth. Especially when somebody's on assignment to do the right thing by people. Why would somebody that truly serve God be mad about that? And those are that's what was in my spirit this evening. And that's why I came live, because people understand from their mindset of understanding. You got to have the same compassion that you want from people for people. Y'all know what it's like to be called. Y'all know what it's like to stand on the front line. Why can't you have no compassion, no support for the people that's standing on the front line? The people that God called to do something. And y'all know that's dangerous to come up against what God told somebody to do. Can't do that. I feel like, this is a season. This is a season that God's about to do a new thing. I remember listening to Pastor Jamal Bryan, and he told me, well, he said in the sermon, not told me personally, but he said in the sermon, he said some of the most educated black men are in prison, and I believe it. And I believe it. I believe it. It's come on, it's history repeating itself. They never wanted us to read, they never wanted us to write, they never us using our knowledge was a threat, baby. They never wanted us to read, write, vote, nothing. It is history repeating itself. And I feel like the prison system is in the middle of it. It's modern day slavery. Do some people belong in prison? I feel like some people do, but I feel like they deserve to be in a medical type of prison. Did some people do a crime and they got sentenced for they got a sentence that don't even fit the crime? Absolutely. Is there some people sitting there that's innocent? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's disheartening. It's very disheartening. Just imagine you being in prison for something that you didn't do. Imagine that. Imagine what that would do to your mental health. Imagine how you would feel. Like, ain't no way. I didn't do this. That's how the men that done did 10, 20, 30, and 40 years feel. Where's the compassion for them? The ones that's in prison right now, slaves. That's what they treat them, like slaves. They're knowledgeable. They're intelligent. But let's keep them locked up so they can't use that intelligence. Let's keep them locked up so we can go ahead and build these new prisons for their children and their grandchildren. Baby, if we don't wake up, if we do not wake up, us staying asleep affects our children and our grandchildren and our great grandchildren. Baby, if y'all don't wake up, they are shutting down the schools, tearing down the schools, but they have $1 million to open prison. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. They don't even feed the kids at school right. But y'all found $1 million. Y'all ain't find it. It's taxpayers' money. We're not going to the parent front. They didn't find it. It's taxpayers' money. The taxpayers are paying for the $1 million prison. That's what they're doing. But it's like if we don't wake up as people, the cycle is going to continue to go. The generational curse is going to just continue and continue and continue. And that's why we have to start backing people that are trying to make a difference, backing people that's trying to break these generational curses, backing people that have a vision. At the end of the day, let me tell you something, to be the mayor, to be a state representative, a senator, a governor, a president, you need a vision. You need a vision to do right by people. You need compassion. You need a plan. You can't go to school and teach compassion. There's no degree for compassion. There's no degree to just do right by people. There's no degree that says, okay, we have all these homeless people that shouldn't even be homeless. All these hungry people that shouldn't be hungry. The prisons is overcrowded. They sleeping in the hallway. Ain't no way. Ain't no degree for that though. Common sense is sitting up here telling you that prison is modern day slavery. Common sense should tell you people shouldn't be homeless and hungry. Where's all the money y'all raise for mental health services and stuff? Because a lot of people that are homeless need mental health services. They need that. Where are the services? Where's the money going? Because the people is still homeless. It broke my heart to go and feed the homeless one day and see a pregnant woman homeless and talk to this pregnant woman, and my heart hurt so bad. My heart hurt so bad. And I wasn't trying to pry, but I had to say, well, when's the last time you been to the doctors? Do they know you homeless? She said they tried to send me to a shelter, but I don't want to go to a shelter without my husband. Me and my husband's out here homeless together. There's nowhere for families to go that are homeless. All I'm sitting up here saying, it takes common sense, it takes a great mindset, and it takes the wisdom of the Almighty God to sit in these seats and make the right decisions by people, because ain't it about the people? Ain't it isn't sitting in these seats about making it a better world for people, not making money, not greed. That's not what it's supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about that stuff that's not of God. That's all it take. That's it. Prayer in the last days, men will become lovers of themselves. Yeah, you know what? It's just like earlier. A lot of y'all was on there when I was talking about the post I posted. And a lot of people was messaging me and they was like, Charlotte Kimi, you didn't say nothing wrong. Like we need to as people be mindful of other people. That's common sense. That's how my mind think, y'all. But that's not how everybody mind think. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of people, y'all, that's out here for self. They could care less about somebody else. They could care less about somebody else being hungry, homeless, whatever the situation is. They could care less if it don't affect them, which it do affect them though. They just don't want to open their mouth up. And God's been showing me that with people. How people don't want to open their mouth, y'all. Y'all wouldn't even understand the number of people that try to come to me and they want me to be the whistleblower all the time. I had to tell three people, no, open your mouth up. Why you want me to stand on the front line and blow the whistle about this? I'm not blowing the whistle about that. You do it. Why try to send me and make me to be the face of it? No, start opening up your mouth. Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid to open up my mouth about anything. What need to be said need to be said. But there's people out here that are worried about self. And if y'all pay attention to my comments, it was women in that comments talk about, oh, I'm a go to the store. I'm gonna spend all my stamps and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Why wouldn't we be considerate of other people? Why wouldn't we do that? That's common sense. I'm worried about other people being able to go to the store and get the things they need too. I'm not gonna sit up here and buy, all the water. I'm not gonna go in there and buy, 100 gallons of water, knowing that other people need water too. But that's me, you know. That's me. I genuinely care about other people. I'm not a greedy person, but I'm just telling y'all, some people don't care. They don't care. All they do is they care about themselves. And as people, that's not how we supposed to be. I went to the other night. My son came in, y'all, and he was like, "Mom, I'm gonna go get some Chinese." So I'm like, "Okay." He said around 7. I said, "Okay, cool." So then I told him, I said, "Well, I gotta run out anyway and grab a few items, um, from Walmart, and then I'll just pick the food up. Don't worry about it." So I went over to pick the food up. And I was walking up, and I don't really like dogs, y'all. I don't like dogs. I'm afraid of them. And it was a dog right there, and I said, "Hey, excuse me, sir. Can you move over there so I could just go in? I really don't like dogs." So it was this one man. He stood in front of the dog. He was like, "Go ahead in, ma'am." He was like, "The dog ain't doing going to do nothing. If the dog do something to you, I'm gonna fight the dog." And I'm like, I'm like, all right. So I go in, and it's a few people in there, y'all. And I had went up to the counter. I was telling the lady my order. I'm here to pick it up. And the same guy that was like, I'll fight the dog if the dog try to get you or whatever. He came in, y'all, and I heard him, and he was asking the people in there like, "Hey, could you buy me an egg roll?" He asked like three people in there to buy him an egg roll, and they just ignored them. And it just I was really ready to explode, y'all, like in that place. But I just turned around and I was like, "Sir," I was like, "Do you want some chicken?" He was like, "Yes, ma'am, please." And I said, "Okay, no problem." So I said, "Can you give me an extra order of chicken or whatever?" And I handed him the chicken, y'all. And I was so loud in that place. And I swear, like a tear rolled down my eye. I was so loud in there, y'all. I was like, first of all, this man sat up here and asked y'all to buy him an egg roll. Do y'all even understand a grown man sitting up here and having to swallow his pride and because he's hungry? So he asked y'all to buy him an egg roll. Y'all just stared at him. I said, I said, I said, at the end of the day, we should never see our people hungry. Never see nobody hungry. Never. I was like, y'all better wish y'all children are never in a situation or you where you are hungry. Where you are hungry, you want somebody to feed them. I said, this man didn't ask y'all for no money to go get no beer, no money to go get no drugs. He asked y'all to buy him an egg roll. An egg roll, y'all, was like $2, probably maybe 250. And it just burned me up the way people are. That really, really, it really made me mad, y'all. Because I've been hungry before. You see what I'm saying? And as people, not just as a black man, but as people, it takes a lot of pride. It takes you to swallow your pride to ask anybody for anything, let alone something to eat. I run into so many people that be like, they don't got no food, but they can't even ask the people close to them for no food. They can't even tell the people close to them they hungry. You know why? Because people gonna talk about them. Because that's how this world is. Somebody come to somebody be like, oh, I'm hungry, or somebody got to go and tell somebody, oh yeah, she was hungry, she couldn't even feed her and her kids, and da 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 da. Why are we like that? That's weird to me. But that just go to show you people is out here for self. I don't want to be surrounded with people that's for self. Cause I'm selfless. I'm gonna help anybody. I'm gonna feed anybody. That's just what I'm gonna do. I just feel like as people, like we gotta be better as people because no, it don't matter how y'all look at it. We need each other. We need each other. It ain't nobody out here that can't say, "Oh, I don't need somebody." We've all needed somebody. We all need somebody. We all probably gonna need somebody. And if it ain't us, you should be sowing. You should be sowing so your kids reap. It's not just about you reaping. So your kids reap. So your grandkids reap. You never know what type of situation your kids or your grandkids might be in one day. And they hungry and they ask somebody to buy them something to eat. And because you have sown into people, somebody's going to sow into your kids. Somebody's going to sow into your grandkids. Somebody's going to feed them. Somebody's going to bless them with a job. Somebody's going to bless them with an opportunity. They're going to have the favor of God on their life because of the way that you have sold and the way that you have served. I don't know who needed to hear that tonight. I wasn't even supposed to talk about that, but it just came out. We got to do better. We have to. And for the people on here that you feel like you ain't qualified for what God called you to do, are you crazy? Are you crazy? If I'm sitting up here and I try to commit suicide twice and was diagnosed with a brain tumor and I dropped out of school, what we talking about? He qualified me. Whatever he told you to do, you qualified to do it. And don't let nobody tell you nothing. Don't let nobody tell you nothing else. God trumps everything. Don't nobody that walk this earth trump God. Your supervisor don't trump God. The state representatives, the governors, the president, don't nobody trump God. Nobody. You know what God told you to do, do it. Do it. Sometimes we got to do things that God told us to do and we don't even understand it. We don't understand until it's done. And we're like, oh, wow, look what God was doing the whole time. Yes, putting you in position, preparing you. That's what God was doing. We gotta wake up. We gotta be better. We gotta come together. We gotta care about each other. We gotta care about what other people is going through. You know why? What did I tell y'all when I went to DC and I went to the African American Museum and I went to go to the Emmett Till exhibit and I read that quote on the wall from his mom. His mom said she would never get herself involved in racism and the things that was going on in the South because it didn't concern her. When they killed her son, her mind changed. She said, this is all of our problem. But she was a woman that took accountability and admitted how her mindset was at first until it hit her house. You got to be mindful because things will hit your house, baby. I've seen it happen. I've seen the very women that come on here and try to bash me, report me, drag my name, do all that. The same thing I was talking about, how black women need to stop treating black men and how these things need to come to light, it hit their house. Then guess what? They wanted my help when it hit their house. We got to be mindful, and you got to wake up, because all this affects all of us. It just does. So we can't sit up and feel like, oh, you know what? That don't affect me. It does. It does. And if it does not affect you directly, it may affect your children and your grandchildren, your siblings, your parents, your cousins, it may affect people in your family. Just be mindful. That's all. That's all. Tiffany Bryan, when it knocks at your door, oh, it's different. Tiffany, all the time, baby. All the time. It's always different when it hit their house. Then they want your help and this, that, and the third. Oh no, baby, I can't help you. I can't help you. You gotta find somebody else. Because you was being ignorant to what God was doing. God is a God about truth. And then when you come and tell the truth, everybody's mad. But then those type of people, they mad when you tell the truth, but then be needing you to tell the truth. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. My heart has been very heavy about the way that um the individuals locked up in Alabama has been treated. My heart's been real heavy about that. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it in the news. It's just like it ain't no way. It ain't no way that basically slavery is still being practiced in that state and many other states in the South. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, so many of those states are still practicing slavery. Cause that's what it is. I understand people have done some things, y'all. I get it. Trust me. Trust me. But there are people in there that are innocent. It's people in there that have too much time to the time don't even match the crime. It's people in there that have served well over, half of what they were supposed to serve, this, that, and third, and they still ain't trying to let these people go. They still ain't trying to let these people go. These people are living in trifling prisons with mold and all type of stuff. It's all type of conditions, and it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening. And so many other places as well is going through the same thing. I just pray that things get better. I pray things get better, but I know God is bringing new leadership to a lot of situations. People that are going to be obedient to what he told them to do. That's what's about to come about. You see all these people getting exposed for being racist and all type of stuff. It's time. God's about to do so much more. So much more. So much more. Because he's tired of his people living like this and going through these different things. He's tired. But we have to be mindful to not expect perfect people. God are putting the people in charge that are going to do what he said and do right by his people, and that's what he's going to do. So God doesn't call to qualify. He don't call somebody that got the degree and the knowledge. He qualifies the person. That's what he does. Um, can you explain a little bit for those that don't understand how they know if they are called um by God? Okay. So basically, so when I started my journey of like speaking out about mental health, and I started speaking out about the black community, what God was doing, he would put a lot of things in my face, a lot of things in my face, and he will also tell me to speak on things, you know I also had the mindset of right is right and wrong is wrong. I was witnessing so many things when it came to suicide, depression. Wasn't people was afraid to come up to the front line, and be honest about being suicidal and be honest about depression and things like that. So when God just kept putting it in my face, that basically, to be the whistleblower, to stand on the front line to speak up about it, I knew that I was supposed to do that because I was no longer afraid. I seen so many situations around me. I seen that something needed to be done, and I spoke on it, and I started spreading the awareness. Whatever it is down on the inside of you, and there's a lack out here, or there's a need, that may be what you are supposed to spread awareness about. That may be what God is calling you to do. Let me tell you something. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. Your purpose chases you down. There's no getting away from it. So you just know in your spirit. You know in your spirit. I'm telling you, it keep you up at night. You continue to see situations right in front of your face, you know, um, of what you supposed to do. And a lot of y'all already walking in your purpose. Y'all already doing the work. Y'all already doing it behind the scenes. You know, Tiffany, yes, he will put things before you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm telling you. It was so, and then when I started, just speaking on, how us black women are, and how black men are being treated, it was always a situation being brought to me, y'all. It was a situation in my face. It was like I had a front row seat to these things that was going on. I'll never forget. A girl came to me, and and this is how you know that my voice was making a difference. She had took her baby's dad. She had got a false PFA on her baby's dad to get Section 8. And it was eating her up, y'all. It was eating her up. So she didn't have nobody else to turn to. She called me. I didn't even know her. She just knew me from Facebook. So she hit me up on social media. We got on the phone, and she told me, she said, I gotta be honest about, what I did, because it was wrong. But just imagine if we don't hold each other accountable for things, that people are just going to be run around and be lied on. And that's men and women. Would you appreciate if somebody lied on you? Let's be honest. Would you appreciate somebody lying on you? I would appreciate that. And you know what? I'm not going to appreciate, Tiffany, if somebody come lie on you, Aaliyah, Mercedes. I'm not going to appreciate that. Lesson learned. Elizabeth Moore, Julius. I'm not going to appreciate if somebody come and lie on you. It ain't just about me. I'm not going to watch nobody lie on y'all either. I'm going to be the first one to say they ain't do that. I'm going to be the first one to step up on the front line. Because I would want somebody, if somebody was lying on me and somebody knew the truth, y'all, I would want somebody to step up for me too. You feel what I'm saying? I would want that. So I'm going to do that for people. But if I would have never spoke up, this woman wouldn't have had nobody that held her accountable. She wouldn't have had nobody to turn to and be like, can you help me make this situation right? Just imagine if we don't speak up about certain things and people are in bad situations for something they didn't do. If someone's not holding them accountable, those people just go down for something that they didn't do. Your sister, your parents, your son, your daughter, your grandchildren, would you want them to go down for something they didn't do? Or would you want somebody to step up and tell the truth? And that's what kind of mindset that we have to have. So if I wasn't brave enough to stand on that front line and be like, hold up, sis, you wrong. You wrong. That woman would have never, she would have never took accountability. She'd have never took accountability. And that man would have went to prison for something he did not do. His life was already ruined. He lost his job, he lost his apartment, he lost his car. It was a domino effect. He was able to, get the charges and everything dropped. After a while he got his job back and stuff. After a while, after everything got cleared up. But just imagine, and let's be real, just imagine somebody tell a lie on you and you lose everything. You would not like that. You would not appreciate that. You would want somebody, to talk to that person into telling the truth. Come on, y'all. Let's just give people what we would want. And that's accountability. It's taking responsibility because it's the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do. Right, Tiffany? All behind a lie, all because she wanted a Section 8 voucher. All because she wanted a Section 8 voucher. And when it came down to it, she told me, she said, he pays me child support, for our two kids every month, you know. And it's a good amount. He got a good job. I think he worked on the railroad or something like that. And I'm like, well, why did you do this? She was like, my friends, somebody hit me up, told me, we going down there to apply for Section 8. So we all was getting together, to go apply this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, you could have applied, but you didn't have to rush the process. You didn't have to get no PFA on him. I said, imagine if the tables were turned and you was the one that lost your job, lost your place, and now you got to fight a court case for something you didn't even do. I said, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to. It's urgent that you do. Sometimes we do things to people that we know we wouldn't appreciate done to us. But she did take responsibility, y'all. I can say that. She took responsibility and she told them people that she lied. She came clean and told the whole story. She definitely did. She did do that. But it's sad that she couldn't turn to her family, her friends. She had to turn to a stranger. A stranger. Because I was a stranger. But I'm glad that I spoke up. I'm glad that I speak up. I'm glad that I am. Because it's showing people how to be accountable and it's okay. And it's okay to be accountable, you know? Aaliyah, I did lose everything, even my children, due to lies. Aaliyah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but Aaliyah, let me tell you something. We serve a God that it don't matter how long. I know it may hurt, but we serve a God that the truth gonna come out. Oh, your name gonna be cleared. He gonna make sure of that. He gonna make sure that I know firsthand. I know firsthand, and the person that lied on you gonna have to apologize, cause they ain't gonna have no peace, Aaliyah, until they apologize. No peace, none, until they apologize to you, baby. I promise you that. Mercedes, yes, that's exactly what my struggle is at this very moment. God is tugging at my spirit and calling me, but I feel some insecurities about it. Like you said, qualified. Um, a lot of people feel insecurities when God calls them because you look down on yourself. A lot of people feel insecure when God called them because you haven't forgiven yourself. You have asked God to forgive you for your sins, and but you haven't forgave yourself for your sins. So that's why God is calling you. Your purpose is chasing you down, and you feeling like you ain't qualified. You feeling like you ain't good enough. You feeling like you can't do it. He would have never gave it to you if you couldn't, baby. He wouldn't have gave it to you. He know what you capable of. Now you have to understand what you capable of. You have to. Aaliyah, I have faith that it will. I am being obedient and patient, and you have to. You have to, Aaliyah. I've been there. The lie on me went on for years. I cried, Aaliyah. I was depressed. It was so many different things, and I'm like, God, I didn't do what this person is saying I did. I did my best, and it was maybe about 4 years later, this person, went ahead and told people that, they lied on me. I didn't do what they said I did, you know, even though I had made peace with it. I made peace with it. And it's hurtful though. It's hurtful while you in it. I promise you that. But with prayer, you got to stay strong. Aaliyah, I'm going to tell you another thing. You got to rest in the fact that God knows the truth. That's one of the most powerful things you could do is rest. I don't care. Listen, I don't care who believe it, Aaliyah. I don't care who's believing it. I don't care how many people know. You better rest. You better rest in the fact that God knows your heart and God knows that that person is lying. But I'm telling you, they're not going to have no peace until they tell the truth. It's going to weigh on their heart so bad. It's going to weigh on their mind so bad. The way they did you, it's going to weigh on them until they tell the truth. They're not going to be blessed till they tell the truth and they get right. And that's just how it's going to go. And that's just how it's going to go. Tiffany said, Aaliyah, you're on the right path. Absolutely. I just want us to be better, as people. I'm just, showing y'all, I've been through a lot of things and I'm just, sharing with y'all, what I learned in my season of singleness and my growth, with the Almighty God. You know, it's somebody on this live right now. You've been hurt by somebody and you thinking about getting back at them. You want revenge. You better not. You better let them have that. Let them have it. You better than that. You greater than that. You are destined for great things. Revenge ain't yours. That's what God had to show me a long time ago. God said, revenge ain't yours, Shalakimia. Revenge, God said, I don't care what they did, what they said, how they drag your name through the dirt. Revenge ain't yours, it's mine. No problem, God. You right. You right. Listen, it ain't matter how bad it was, y'all. It ain't matter how it looked. It didn't matter that I felt like my heart was ripped out my chest, y'all. I had to be obedient. And that took a lot, y'all. I promise you. It took a lot. Cause I said, hold up, God, I wasn't nothing but good. I ain't do nothing but go above and beyond. I ain't deserve that. And God said, keep moving forward. Keep your eyes and your ears on me. Keep your eyes and ears on me. I got that. Don't you worry about it. I got that. Cause see, I sent you in there. I blessed you with that mindset to be a blessing and to be a giver and to be there. I blessed you with that. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect that about you. They got to see me. That's what God said. They got to see him when it come to you. Don't you waste your time getting back at nobody. Don't you do that. Baby, you walk away. You walk away with your head held high. And you go ahead and you heal and you move forward and you do what you got to do for you. That person ain't do nothing but show you their true colors. That's all. That's all it was. But whoever was thinking about getting even and getting back and hurting them, don't even do it. Don't even waste your time because let me tell you something, baby. When you stoop that low, you become them, and you know they a mess. What you want to jump and be a mess with them, or you want to continue being you? Because let me tell you something. I'm not stooping to nobody's level for nothing. I ain't come this far to go back. I'm not going back. I'm gonna let them have that, and I'm gonna go on with my life. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't want no lick back or nothing, baby. I'm gonna walk away so quietly, like royalty. You hear me? I'm gonna walk away with my crown on my head because I'm gonna be obedient. And I'm gonna tell you that takes a lot of strength. I promise you, a lot of strength to be obedient to what God told you and be obedient to the word of God when you're handling people. It's not easy. It's not. Ken, when are you going to accept your truth? Stop preaching a selfish, magical lie. Ken, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If that's how you feel, you're not gonna tell me how to feel though. It's too many. I have too many testimonies. Um, I have too many testimonies to think otherwise. I know God's real. If you don't, that's on you. That don't got nothing to do with me. You don't have to come over here and project that over here. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that, honey. Keep that where you at. If that's how you feel. Anyway, everybody else. Aaliyah, it's been 10 years now, and it took a long time to just get to be at peace. And I understand that. I understand that, Aaliyah. I do. I do. And this is why we have to be in these type of spaces, having these type of conversations, because you don't know what somebody's battling. You don't know what somebody has been through. You don't know what somebody's struggling with. I get it. And I understand it. And it's really, really the sit you so strong, Aaliyah. You so strong minded. You a strong person that at the end of the day, that was used as a tactic to try to distract you and break you all the way down. That's what that was used. That was used to do that. That's what that whole thing was about. Trying to stop Aaliyah. That's what the whole attack was about. Trying to stop you. I don't know what you had planned, what you had going on, but it was a tactic to stop you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Julius, the best revenge in the world to people is to pray for them. Baby Julius, let me tell you something. When I learned to pray for people that wrong me, whoo, that's a different kind of power, y'all. Oh, that's a different kind of power, baby. When you able to go in prayer and pray for them, whoo, that's a level up. That's what you be feeling like, oh, I don't want to pray for them. Babe, I'll go in prayer in a minute. I wasn't like that all the time, though. I ain't gonna sit up here in front. And I ain't 100% like that now, but I have went in prayer and prayed for people that wronged me and asked God to bless them. Yes, I did. Yes, I did ask God to bless them. Sure did. Mm-hmm. I've done that before. I've done that before. Thank you, Sean. Chosen to be healed by God. I love you, my sister in Christ, and thank you. I love you too. And thank you too. Aaliyah, I was told that by the man up above, he has been showing me just to keep pushing. Yep. Yep. That was designed, Aaliyah, to take you off your square. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, the enemy knows how to attack you. And that's what he did. That's what he did. That's what he tried to do. That's what he tried to do. Keep on pushing. The truth gonna come out. Sean Mark. I stand with Shalakemia. Thank you, Sean, so much. I thank y'all for just tuning in with me tonight and just listening to what I had to pour out. I'm sure that, some of it was for some people, some of it wasn't. Parts of it might have been for some people. It might have been confirmation for other people, but just like, God qualifies us to do things. We have to also understand he qualifies other people to do things as well. We have to understand that. We have to be humble enough to understand that and have that kind of mindset, y'all. And we got to stop looking for perfect people. Nobody's perfect but God. Nobody's perfect but God. And a lot of us miss our blessings looking for somebody perfect or expecting people to be perfect. We miss out on our blessings. So let's just receive this new season that is about to come. Whatever you want in this new season, you speak it. You speak it into existence. But there's about to be a shift and there's about to be a change. Major, definitely major for us. But I love y'all so much. Uh Earth Angel. Um Earth Angel said no, I won't ask God to bless them, but I pray that they repent their sins on a chosen one. Thank you for this message. Absolutely, Earth Angel. Before I go, I have asked God to bless the people that have wronged me for the simple fact that it's something that they're lacking. It's something that they're missing. And that's why I ask God to bless them. Bless them with peace, bless them with happiness, wisdom, you know, so many different things. Bless them. Yep. Yep. I want God to bless them so they become a better person. You know why? I may not have, done the exact things that those people have done, but I'm going to tell you something. I've done things too. I've been wrong too. I've been wrong. I absolutely have. I fell short and somebody prayed for me. And that's why I can pray for my enemies. I can pray for those people that wrong me. I can pray for them. Yeah, I can. You're welcome. You're welcome, Tiffany. Um, Patron said, Aaliyah, that voice in your head is your higher God is conscious. Following her is following yourself. Give yourself full credit and don't be afraid. Yeah, let's block this person. I'm tired of. I'm not entertaining that. That's sad. Okay, y'all. Y'all have a great night, and thank y'all for tuning in with me tonight. And everybody be blessed. Good night.